You see this? This is what happens when the government gets in between a man and his barber. It's actually kind of a Chris Isaac look. I don't wanna fall in love with you. I'm a man of many hats, and I just grabbed a bunch of them, so I guess I'm just gonna randomly pick one out of the pile here, plop it on my head, and we're ready to go. All right, hey, how you doing? I'm back already. It's only been a week. I'm gonna try and update this channel a little more frequently while we're all living in a fucking horror movie. About a year ago, Arturia hit me up about a Microfreak, and I just kind of forgot about it. It just went on the back burner, I guess because I already have a big modular system and whatnot, and I figured maybe having a synth like this would just not be all that beneficial or interesting to me. And then in January, I actually got my hands on one and played with it for a second at NAMM, and I was like, whoa! Oh man, this thing's really powerful. Why didn't I pay more attention to it last year? Now I really want one. So I finally got one, and every single audio-related YouTube channel has already had their way with this harlot, and I'm the last to the party. But look at it this way. I'm bringing 2019 back. So my idea is to make a trio of sorts, mixing up the Microfreak, the BeatStep Pro, and the Empress Reverb, and hopefully making some cool ambient stuff. So firstly, I have praised the Arturia BeatStep Pro on this channel before. I think that if you're new to modular, it's pretty much a must-have due to its price and its power. It is a 3-channel sequencer, also a control surface. It has a bunch of unique features, has loads of CV gate outs. My favorite part about the BeatStep Pro is its randomization algorithm. It actually borrows from other notes that you put in your pattern rather than just giving you a random note or giving you a random note inside a scale that you defined. It's unfortunate that more sequencers don't have this capability because it's really powerful. And in this case, I'll be using the MIDI out into the Microfreak. Secondly, the Empress Reverb is the best reverb that I've ever heard in a pedal, and it might be the best algorithmic reverb I've ever heard entirely. A couple of years ago, I did a long, detailed feature on it where I explained why I feel this way and obnoxiously tested the algorithms with my own app. So I should give you a disclaimer that anywhere I use the Empress Reverb, it's going to be stealing the show a little bit. And with the Microfreak being a mono output device with no onboard effects, I don't really have a problem with that. Obviously, I wouldn't use a reverb like this if I were showcasing a product that had onboard effects. A few things about the Microfreak. Just a couple months ago, Arturia released a 2.0 firmware that added a whole bunch of game-changing features. I don't know why I said game-changing. I don't know what game it's changing. Okay, so let's say there's a trivia game where you get asked what the new features of the Microfreak are, and you ask it to somebody who was in a coma and just woke up and they didn't have time to update the firmware or read the changelogs for the Microfreak, and I guess that changes the game for them. Actually, that doesn't even change the game, does it? That's just a person being cavalier with their luck playing a trivia game after they just got out of a coma. Anyway, there's a lot of new features, and the most not game-changing but powerful ones are a new noise oscillator, a really powerful paraphonic chord mode, and then it also has this snap to scale feature that you could either do system-wide, globally, or within each pattern. Also worth mentioning, the Microfreak takes advantage of the open source code from the Plates or Plats module, whichever you want to call it, written by Emily Gillet? I'm not really sure how to pronounce that name, but Emily is a brilliant programmer who is the brains behind Mutable Instruments. I think one of the reasons why I slept on the Microfreak for a year and didn't get it is because I already have Plates, and I figured, well, I don't really need that module again, so there's no point in getting it. This is not really the case though. The Microfreak's filter, the modulation section, the matrix mod, the pattern sequencer, they're more than just side items. They're what make this really fun and unique to play with. While Plates is really powerful and really fun to play with, this does have more oscillators than just the ones from Plates. Arturia has made their own as well. So to be honest, the whole thing seemed a bit confusing to me at first, but once I got my hands on this, I completely understood Arturia's vision. After this being out for about a year now, you don't really need me to tell you the specs, but really quickly, it has 2 CVs out, one for just CV and pressure, another for gate. It has clock in and out, has MIDI in and out, has USB. It could be powered by USB, or it could be powered by a 12-volt 1-amp adapter. The keyboard is quirky to say the least. It's pretty interesting to play with the pressure sensitivity and pitch thing here. I think I actually do like it better than just having a normal keyboard for this synth. I do like normal keyboards a whole lot, but this one, I think this all works out just fine. I've heard a lot of people saying that they wish that this was just a desktop synth without this part on it, and I disagree. I kind of like the hands-on of this odd keyboard. I'll cover all the modulation stuff in a moment, and the Microfreak comes in at under $300, which is a pretty damn good deal for what you're getting. And now for a quick pitch. Put on my salesman hat. My favorite type of film and television is documentaries. My least favorite type of film and television is propaganda films or reality shows claiming to be documentaries. CuriosityStream is the Netflix of documentaries. It plays on virtually any device you want, and they have very high standards for the educational content that they produce or license. I've been a CuriosityStream customer for a while, and I am proud to now be a partner. I cannot think of a better time than now to either try a free trial or pay less than $20 a year for a massive trove of educational content. Plus, it helps support this channel, and it allows me to keep making videos like this for you to watch. So if this sounds up your alley, click the referral link in the description for a fancy deal, and enjoy. All right, so this is the Microfreak, and to give you a quick rundown of what's going on here, I kind of like to look at this as a virtual modular in a way. Like, there's no cables, but with this mod matrix up here, and the way that you can assign things, it's pretty easy to make anything control anything else, which is kind of what a modular does. And I think that was maybe their vision when doing this. So let's kind of go over these oscillator types first. And I guess to make it easier on myself, I'm just going to play a little sequence. So this is the basic oscillator. It's just a simple waveform. We could probably move into like higher saw, change the symmetry, put in a little sub there. The next would be a super wave, which sounds like a bunch of waves together. Next would be a wavetable. We could select a wavetable, and then we could scroll across it. Next would be harmo, which kind of sounds like an additive synthesis-ishy, harmonic-y sound, I suppose. Car plus strong, which is a string emulation. This is virtual analog. This, I think it stands for virtual analog. Might stand for Virginia Slims analog, but it sounds pretty analog. I think it just has some interesting detuning functions. Wave shaper. 2-operator FM. Formant. It's kind of voicey. Chords. This is the Plates speech modeler, which is excellent. I love it. Model, that's a physical modeling type thing. You can make a lot of different like chimes and pan drums and things like that with that. And noise, I believe this is a new one in the firmware 2.0. Okay, so that's what we got. So I'm going to first just go with, let's just stick with a 2-operator FM. And let's start talking about these envelope generators. So we have a cycling envelope here, we have an envelope here, and then we have an LFO here, and we also have an ARP and sequencer. And I guess the first thing we should do, let's make this sound a little bit more abrasive. And I'm just going to hold a note rather than play that stupid sequence anymore. Okay, so cut off. I'm going to assign this cycling envelope to this cutoff. And by doing that, I will just go here and then select the amount that I want it to affect from 0 to 100. Okay, so as you can hear, we can actually change the shape of the envelope right here. And this kind of acts like a maths almost, or half of a maths. So now we still have another envelope here that's controlling the overall filter amount, but we also have an LFO here. And what I'm going to try and do here is make this LFO affect this cycling envelope, which is also acting as an LFO, and get a sort of bouncing ball effect. So let's go to this shape maybe. Okay, so here I'm going to go to LFO to assign 1. I'm going to make that assign 1. Actually, you know what? There's a little shortcut for this. There we go. Now this LFO is affecting the fall time, and I'm going to have it do 100% and slow this down a bit. Okay, so now I have a sample and hold on this LFO, and that's still affecting the fall of the cycling envelope, which is affecting the cutoff. And so it's just sounding a little goofy. But speaking of goofy, I'm going to press paraphonic, and that allows me to sort of makes it sound polyphonic, but better yet, what we're going to do is we're going to press paraphonic, and I'm going to play some notes. Okay, now what'll happen, it's just going to play that chord every key I press. Okay, so now let's get even crazier. Let's go into utility, miscellaneous. I'm going to go to a scale. I'm going to set the overall scale of the Microfreak to a Dorian. And now let's hear that. So now I have a random pattern playing from the BeatStep Pro here, and that is controlling the sort of Dorian chord orgy we have going on over here. And let's, of course, put some reverb on that. So rather than giving you a play-by-play of every single thing that I'm going to be doing, I just wanted to give you an overview of how this works and how we can build these patches. And these three things together, I think, work very well. And I'm going to shut up now. Hopefully that was a little soothing. I know we all need our anxiety levels smoothed out a bit, if you know what I mean. Get it? Smoothed out. Get it? I don't. If you like this video, subscribe to the channel. If there's anything you want me to cover in the future, let me know in the comments. And if you want access to a massive library of educational content, rage smash that link in the description. Bye.